Hello, welcome to the Rooster Teeth Podcast. I'm Gus.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Becca.
I'm Blaine.
I'm Gus. I still feel like I get fucked up by this 5 p.m. start time. I still feel like I should have more time to like read or get ready. It's like 5 p.m. sneaks up on you.
Yeah, you usually have to rush from whatever else you're doing. And you're just like, all right, I got to get podcast on Node, got to look over all my shit.
Are you okay? You need a little time?
No, I'm okay. I got some stuff if we ever need to go to it.
I never do
try to put
research for podcasts.
I put together a collection of like stories and
Did you?
stuff. I always do. Just in case.
But I'm worried because normally whenever Brandon's on the podcast, all day long before the podcast, you send me all the shit you want to talk about. And I always say, don't send it to me. Don't send it to me.
But it helps if somebody else has seen it and it's not just me trying to just explain everything. Like you can relate to it.
Well, that's part of the fun is the explanation. That way the people who are watching who don't know, they get the explanation too.
All right, I got one then.
Okay.
That I haven't told you. There's nothing more I'm excited about in life right now than the Juggalo March on Washington. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it's actually a pretty big civil rights thing that people should support, theoretically.
I don't know
even though
about
it's silly.
Well, do you know who the Insane Clown Posse is?
Real fast.
Never heard of him.
I talked about getting off track because of the 5 p.m. start time. I forgot to say who the episode's brought to you by.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
No, that's not your fault. It's my fault. So this episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast
It's brought to you by the Insane Clown Posse.
Boomerang, 5'4", and MeUndies. Thank you for sponsoring this episode of the podcast. I love you guys. Sorry it came like 30 seconds late. All right, Juggalo March.
Do you know who the Insane Clown Posses are?
Yes.
Well, they have a huge following, They have a huge following, and I think a couple years ago, there was news that the FBI labeled them, I don't know if it was a terrorist organization.
Gang.
A gang organization.
Yeah.
And so, that kind of helped with every group likes a good, we're victimized narrative. Mm-hmm. So they kind of went with that and everybody feels like, or the Juggalos have to feel like they have to come together. So I guess, I don't know, a year ago, they scheduled a march on Washington. But in that time, people have just completely forgot and just like don't care about this issue at all. So they're going to be on Washington marching on one side of the mall, and then there's a alt-right rally on the other side. So they're going to be like circling around one another. And I just, I hope they're going to have their painted faces.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
is there like
I would imagine
a dude on the alt-right side who's got like the Juggalo face paint on?
Yeah, like half, like Confederate flag on one side and like Juggalo face on another. I'm sure there'll be some overlap, but I mean, you can't say that group would support one side over another.
Well, the thing about
there's always going to be overlap with any group and any other group.
With the Juggalos, though, like the fact that they've been marked as a gang, any of those guys that for whatever reason fucking love that band and might have had a tattoo from like high school, they are like losing jobs and, like potentially losing like custody of children in divorce cases.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, you're associated with a gang. You have a Insane Clown Posse tattoo. Then no, you're not going to get your kid back.
Has it happened?
Yeah, they're like people have lost
crazy.
jobs and like it's negatively affecting them because they're labeled as a gang. Even though like not every ICP fan is actually like partakes in violence or gang activities.
No, that's fucked up. Yeah, they should march.
Yeah,
I want to go. I'm going to watch.
Are you going?
I want to go.
Get
You should
painted
go.
up.
I've never
You guys
given a
send
shit
me?
about them, but I mean, it is a
You should go and film it.
Yeah, I'll absolutely go.
It's Saturday, September 16th.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. No, I can see them going and
Next
marching.
RT Doc.
Yeah.
Brandon the Juggalo.
I'll do it. I think.
Make sure you get some of that Fago while you're there.
Oh yeah, they love Fago. They've probably made like millions of dollars on that. I think my favorite Juggalo story. What's the concert they have every year? The Gathering.
The Gathering,
Yeah.
Juggalos.
So yeah, it's a big concert where they, I guess, invite a bunch of independent music acts. And I think this is true. I remember seeing the story, but maybe it was made up. Tila Tequila was performing for some reason.
What was she performing?
What did she perform?
I don't know.
Blog?
I do not know why she was. Well, she made a music album.
A music.
You've never heard of
music
She's a
album?
musician?
Not a comedy album.
Yeah, not a comedy album, man.
Anyone
a
can
MySpace
be a
album.
musician
Wait,
these days.
But isn't Tila Tequila? She was
She was like
The
famous on
MySpace.
MySpace.
Okay, all right.
And then
and
she
now
made
she's
an album.
like a Nazi, apparently.
The music's
Yeah.
Oh,
well, she
right.
was crazy, and now she's a Nazi. But yeah, her music's
Still is.
really crazy. It's like one of the lyrics are, "I'm not gonna fuck your man. He's my number one fan, but I might fuck him." It was crazy. So anyway,
Changed my mind.
yeah, she was performing at the Juggalo concert, and there were reports that somebody threw human feces at her.
Nice. Okay.
Which, no matter what you think about her music,
Nobody-
it's not cool.
yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I think it depends if they're going to get their fans amped up, or they're going to try to be like, hey, try to be a little bit more polished.
It would behoove them
But it's going to be, I can't imagine it's not going to be awesome.
Patrick just let me know that in 2015, Insane Clown Posse won an appeal to remove their Juggalo fan base from the FBI's list of organized gangs.
Good for them. Yeah, good for them.
Yeah.
I don't have anything. Well, I mean,
It would behoove them to go and have a peaceful protest, because if they're trying to like, no, we're not a gang, then they shouldn't be like wrecking shit.
Is there a Juggalo registry? Like, how does the FBI cross-reference the Juggalo profile here?
Like, is it like when you move into a neighborhood, you have to let everyone know that you're a Juggalo? Like, you're knocking door to door?
What?
I'm sure it's like search terms. If you post it on Facebook, their organizations are constantly combing through that stuff and like marking it. Like, their catalogs that just show you, like they know everything. Because like we volunteer so much information to the government, right? Mm-hmm. Because we have the choice. Like, think about. Yeah, like all the things that you post on Facebook, like all of your opinions, all your Twitter, like your search history, even
who you follow.
Because a lot of that's public. Yeah, who you follow. Like, we volunteer so much information about who we are.
So you got to throw some crazy stuff in there.
Yeah.
Like follow Tila Tequila.
I used to follow her.
Did you?
Yeah, because she used to just be crazy. And then she became like crazy racist.
Now she's a Nazi.
Yeah, before she was like
Throw
space
shit at her.
Brain. Insane.
She had that reality show, remember? It was like a dating show. I think it was like a bisexual dating
some
show.
Like MTV2 or something.
No, it was on MTV. It was a big show.
Prime MTV?
Where she had male and female contestants. I think it was the first show that ever
A Shot at
did
Love
that.
with Tila
There you
Tequila.
go. Thanks. Yeah.
That's
wow.
A
You
cool
guys
concept.
know a lot about this.
It came on a time where I watched a lot of MTV. I was young.
Shot at Love, October 2007.
Do they still do like all of the offshoot?
I was in college.
So like
there's no excuse
FX
for
is
that.
FXX. Do they still do like ESPN2, ESPN3?
I think so.
MTV2?
I think they're up to like 27 ESPNs now.
That's awful.
I mean, we do multiple YouTube channels. How's that any different?
That's true. It seems different with cable, but yeah, that makes actually perfect sense.
Like Nickelodeon has diversified a ton. They have like 6 different channels under their umbrella.
Do they?
Mm-hmm. There's like Teen Nick, Throwback Nick,
Nick at Night,
Nick
Gas,
Nick Jr.
like Game Show. The Game Show Network. Nick Gas.
I didn't even know that one. Yeah.
If you're an avid Legends of the Hidden Temple fan. Well, it's just like, the bandwidth, those channels become so much cheaper, over time. And then cable companies are constantly looking for shit they can bundle and sell you.
We always get like people wanting to work with Rooster Teeth, and they'll be like, hey, like we've got this big thing coming out. If you want to do a collaboration with us, like what are some ideas that you might have? And we call those RFPs, request for pitches or something.
Proposal.
So anyways, 9 times out of 10, I'm always pitching something that has to do with like a Legends of the Hidden Temple like quest, where it's like, well, we go to an obstacle course, right? I always want to do that.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, get those shirts. The shirts are really cool. I will say, just to clarify, I'm not trying to shit on the Juggalos, like the people who follow the Insane Clown Posse.
It didn't come across like that.
Okay, it didn't?
No.
Oh, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't trying to judge and say anything bad. I get it. I think it's a lot of young kids who have a lot of anger and teen angst.
I don't think they're teenagers. I don't think the Juggalos are teenagers.
Yeah,
I think that's where they start.
I think they're like late 20s. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're going to like a march or a gathering of the Juggalos, you're not a teenager.
Well, your mom can take you.
She's in clown makeup as well.
Your mom takes you to like, conventions. She'll take you to the Juggalo.
Does the Juggalo have their mom drop them off like 2 or 3 blocks away?
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to be seen. Like, oh, mom, go away.
Yeah, or the mom tries too hard and she shows up in the clown face paint too, trying to connect.
No, I'm with Becca. I think they're older.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're teenagers. So I'm sure one thing that everyone is curious to talk about is, of course, this hurricane that hit over the weekend.
Yeah,
I felt
crazy.
like it's really crazy. Everything that's going on in Houston's terrible, but I felt like people in Austin had a super freak out at the end of last week. Like
unjustly so, I think.
Yeah, there were runs on water. Like you couldn't buy water anywhere at any grocery store. There were lines to fill up with gasoline.
Really?
And
I missed all this. I just got back into the country on Saturday.
Oh, yeah,
we went to get a bunch of gallons of water, like just in case. I mean, it's the thing with the weather is our weather. We don't know anything about weather. We think we do, but there's so much stuff you can't predict. And think about all the people in history who were fucked. They didn't know they were going to get fucked.
But I mean, like you think about like rain in Austin, right? And that was like worst case scenario for Austin was a lot of rain. Like we get a lot of rain. We've had flooding in the past. I think of all the floods I've been through in Austin, I've lived here for a long time now. I've never once had my water go out.
Yeah, but it does get could get tainted.
Yeah. But that's always like, it seems like that's like the outskirts of Austin where that happens.
Is there like 7th and Lamar that always floods whenever we
down Phil Creek down there?
Did it actually?
No, I drove down there.
I saw some pictures of like they had sandbags this year. I think
so they're prepping.
Because was it last year that they got
2 years
really
ago.
fucked up? Was that the
There was the Memorial Day flood.
Yeah. It was like 7-Eleven was just like.
And that Goodwill got totally destroyed.
Yeah.
I think part of it was the stuff that people were putting out. And it wasn't just like news channels looking to hype people. It was like the Weather Channel was that this is one of the worst storms we've ever seen. So I guess it's just trying not to use past experiences, to think what it's going to be like and just try to be safe because, we have to learn our lessons, and not just Hurricane Katrina, which no one could have predicted the levees, crashing, but even Hurricane Rita, where it was just a lot of rain and wind. People were in those situations because there's so much stuff you can't predict. They didn't have water or they were stuck somewhere. They had to be rescued. So it's just an issue of you, as powerful and as far as we come in terms of technology, we still can't do shit and don't know shit about Mother Nature and the weather.
Yeah, and I think the latest figure they said was that Harvey had dumped 11 trillion gallons of water on Texas.
Damn.
They said the equivalent would be if you covered South Carolina in water 10 inches deep.
Wow.
That's insane.
Wow.
And to be clear, like Austin's pretty much fine. I saw a lot of tweets. There are people like, God, I hope everybody in Austin is safe. Like, we're fine. Houston is.
Yeah.
It's Atlantis right now.
The last I heard was the storm's going to go back to the Gulf, pick up more water, and I don't know if it's going to get stronger and pass through Houston again. So it's really not going to get much better.
Well, because right now, from what I heard, is they're like, if you're in that area, you can't get out because the roads are closed, and then they're also not letting people in unless which is fucking awesome. These guys called the Cajun Navy, dudes from Louisiana with boats. There were guys that organized during Katrina. They came out to Texas and they're helping people.
It's our own Dunkirk.
Yeah, I saw maybe the dumbest post ever on the Austin subreddit the other day.
Oh no!
Oh wow!
Maybe it was yesterday or the day before. Someone was like, I want to go down to Houston to help the people out. Does anyone have a boat I can borrow?
Oh my God. Oh, fucking idiot.
It's just like, I want attention. That's what that post is. I just want attention. Tell me how great a person I am.
Like, you're probably going to get in the way, and you might divert resources from someone else that needs
that. That person would ultimately not know how to handle the boat, get hooked on something or whatever, and then they would be someone that needs to get help saved.
Totally.
Yeah.
Stupid asshole.
And not to dismiss the fact that he wanted help. There are other ways to help.
Red Cross.
One way to help.
What a segue.
What a segue. One way to help is to donate to the Red Cross.
Mm-hmm.
You can visit redcross.org or text 90999 to donate $10. They're not a sponsor or anything. I don't know why they would be a sponsor. Just letting you know if you want to help out to the people affected
right now.
by Harvey in Houston. You could do that, and there's an easy way to do it.
Or send my mom $100.
909.
Oh yeah, Brandon's parents.
My parents, all my friends.
They stayed.
Yeah, I mean, they told, and the Houston mayor is being criticized for not trying to evacuate the city, and that's a really easy position to take. And maybe information's changed. This is a really controversial issue, but I guess I understand what he's saying. You cannot safely or adequately evacuate a metroplex of, I don't know how many people are in the metro of
third
Houston,
largest city in the world,
5 million or 6 million, and I think the city limits is maybe 4. Because the same thing's going to happen that happened with Rita, is that the highways are just going to be completely clogged. They're not going to go anywhere.
More people died on the road evacuating from Rita than died from the storm.
Yeah, no, I mean, and it makes sense. And the harder thing is you look at the numbers and you look at there are people who have to be rescued. Hopefully there's not a lot of people who've lost their lives. But with respect to all the other people in Houston, the idea that people should just stay in their houses as long as they're not in danger, in terms of the numbers, it works. The strategy plays out. It's just hard because when you look on the news and you see somebody having to be rescued
on the roof,
emotionally, you're like, well, why didn't everybody evacuate? But, people are in their homes and they might be flooded. The homes might be flooded. But for the most part, with respect to those 6 million people, people are okay. But as the rain keeps coming, reservoirs are filling up, bayous are already filled. It's just going to get worse, And the other facet, sorry if I'm talking too much, I'll shut up once it is. You don't want to diminish the human factor. There is another thing, the economic factor, that this is one of the biggest commercial cities in the country with energy. And you not only have, not a lot of our industries, all these closed, the businesses closed, but refineries as well. which not only a big part of Texas, but a big part of the country, and a lot of the stuff they're exporting outside of the country as well. So not saying one's more important than the other, but this is a huge, huge issue.
Yeah, I mean, the airports, both airports in Houston are closed. I think Intercontinental is closed until Thursday. I took a screenshot. I shared it with you earlier today of like all the air traffic in Texas, and you see all these planes in Dallas, all these planes in Austin, and then like nothing over Houston.
Except that one plane, which is probably like the Weather Channel's
yeah, it was like a little Cessna or something. Probably someone.
I read somewhere that Southwest was flying victims out for free.
Yeah, they were stuck at Hobby.
I don't know. Like I sent Brandon a photo earlier. I don't know how they flew because I saw photos of the Hobby runways underwater.
Weird.
Jeez.
Maybe they had. What are they called? Hydroplane? Not hydroplane. Damn it! That's
a seaplane.
Seaplane.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like that photo I sent to Brandon earlier. It looks like it would be just
see if I can get
like a flooded street somewhere, but it's the actual runway, and you can see like the little marker indicating which runway it is. It looks like a lake.
So, Becca, you were out, so you didn't. But did you guys do any sort of like doomsday prep when the storm was coming?
I made sure my internet was on the battery backup.
That was it.
Oh, there it is. There's that's the Houston Hobby runway,
and that's a fucking like 8-foot tall stop sign, probably.
Yeah, you can see that little 422 sign for like when you're taxiing on the runway.
Jeez.
And the highways are the same thing. There's like a 20-lane highway, and it's just completely underwater.
Jesus.
But yeah, I mean, I wasn't in Austin. Like I said, I wasn't worried. We're so far from the coast, and we've had burst rain and flooding before, so I knew where I was fine. Because back when the flooding happened in 2015, I lost power for like 27 hours. I know it's nothing like what you've experienced, but when they brought my power back up, they like cut all of the trees in my neighborhood along the power lines, and then they reran all new power lines. So ever since then, I've never lost power at all. So I knew I would most likely be fine.
Yeah, and we're lucky because we have the lakes. I mean, we have 2 giant dams that they try to empty all the water into that just let out water into the lakes and the river. So it's, we're lucky. And it's just tough. It's tough to constantly remember that and be thankful for what you never think about you have until you obviously see people, or unfortunately, if it happens to you, the things that you don't.
This weekend, I didn't step outside like at all. I was just like, it's raining out. I'm going to stay in, play video games, and write. That's all I'm going to do. And it was pretty great. But Sunday's my pizza day, so I was going to have to go out. And I, unfortunately, live very close to a Via 313, so I always interchange between Home Slice and Via 313. So I ordered my pizza. I was going to walk to Via to go get it. And I hadn't been out probably in like 36 hours outside of the apartment complex. The first step I took out, 8-inch puddle of water, just like immediately dunked my foot into it. And I was like, fuck!
Convince them to put your foot in the pizza oven when you get there. Dry it off real fast.
It's really wet. So
no, it was amazing because there was no traffic in Austin all week, because I guess people did what you did. They just stayed inside.
Yeah.
So it was great getting around.
I know. And I have a Jeep, so I'm just like, 4-wheel drive.
I have a Prius. It's fine. It's no problem at all. Yeah, it was amazing. And I had like family calling me like, "Oh, are you okay? Is everything fine?" I was like, "It's fine. It's totally fine." I saw one down tree branch, and that was it.
Yeah, we live on top of a hill, so if we are flooded, then the entire city is just...
I'm on like the top floor of my apartment complex, so I'll be fine. I was actually thinking about like whose house I would raid if the world ended.
I mean, it's interesting because I go to my house and I see like 5 jugs of water, and I'm like, yeah, obviously didn't need it here, but why shouldn't I should just have this all the time? You know, and we're hopefully getting a house soon, and I'm not going to build a bunker, but it'd be nice to have, just these, not doomsday, but I guess shit you don't foresee. Oh, man, I do want a bunker now.
You know, okay.
I say, did I ever tell you about the house I looked at that had 3 bomb shelters on it?
No.
Whoa. It's pretty central Austin, but I looked at it like 8 years ago, and I was turning at the house, and it was an okay house. Then I saw like a hatch in the yard, and I was like, "What's that?"
A hatch? That's awesome.
Yeah. Sold.
And the realtor's like, "Oh, there's a bomb shelter there." It's like, "Oh, that's weird." Then we walked into the backyard. Now there was another one. I was like, "What's that?" Like, "Oh," and then she looks at the list. She's like, "There's 3 of them."
So are they
property.
Like technically full blown bomb shelters, or were they like tornado shelters? Like
the realtor didn't have a key to get into them, so I couldn't see them. So I don't know what it was, but it was 3 different hatches that supposedly led to 3 different shelters that were not connected to each other.
That's fucking insane because people in Texas don't really get tornado shelters because it's so fucking hard to it's because our what is it,
ground rock,
like the bedrock or whatever it is. it's so fucking hard to drill into. That's why it's a pain in the ass to get a pool in Texas. So like this guy built 3.
Yeah.
When was it built?
I don't remember. I looked at that house like 8 or 9 years ago, so it's been a while.
It'd be interesting, like to just track what was going on in the world when they built it.
Probably the 50s, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, growing up, my best friend's house, they had a tornado shelter with like, the French door metal hatch. And we just always wanted to play down there. Like it was so novel and cool.
Did you play tornado? Like did you ever pretend like there was a tornado
play, like,
outside?
Ouija board down there and just
that's cool.
Scary. Yeah.
That's really fun childhood memories.
Yeah. That's insanely scary. Did anyone like fuck with you guys and get on the other side of those 2 hatches and start banging them together?
No. That would have sucked though, because I think
to be haunted,
you could lock it from the inside or outside.
Oh, okay.
And so if someone had closed it and locked us, then we would have been screwed.
It's like the beginning of a horror movie.
Yeah.
We did my grandpa had a storm shelter because he lived in Oklahoma, and that's like right in the tornado valley, whatever. And
Tornado Valley?
Tornado belt. What do they call it?
Tornado Alley?
Tornado Alley. Fuck. But yeah, like a tornado passed when I was visiting him once, and we were like all down there, and it passed like probably a kilometer away from his house, and we were all just down there, and just like it's pretty spooky.
Yeah, I would be unnerved by tornadoes because I feel like you don't have very much time to get ready for them.
Yeah,
and like you said, we don't have like tornado shelters or anything here. Like I don't know where I'd go or what I'd do.
Yeah, I've thought about it. Like my house doesn't have a lot of interior rooms. Like basically everything is against the outside wall, except one tiny little half bathroom.
I see bathtubs too.
Yeah, but this is a half bath, and like all my showers have windows, like pretty big windows.
Yeah, so, master bathrooms usually have windows in there.
I'm the same way as you. I've got one half bath that like I could go to, and then on the Memorial Day storm 2 years ago, I had to go in there.
Really?
I just get in my dryer.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean that's the scary thing about the people staying in their houses. Like there was a tornado warning at my mom's house, and then they had some wind damage. You say tornado, everybody imagines Wizard of Oz, but it was what you would call a slight tornado.
A slight tornado.
I don't. It's like I don't know. I don't know where the right word is. It's not. It's not cows like spinning up in the air.
Sure.
But just like a mile away. And it doesn't take much. To damage your house or.
Did y'all see that tornado that formed around Cypress, Texas, in the wake of the hurricane? I saw a picture of it. It was taken out on the horizon, and it like filled the frame of the photo. It was enormous. It was like, God, not only hurricanes, not only flooding. Tornadoes too.
So let's just throw an earthquake in there. Just get them all. Get them all out of the way.
Tornadoes are fucked because when I was in high school, I used to do journalism, and we went and covered a tornado that had happened, I think, on the border of Oklahoma and Texas. And man, it like just decimated this lady's house. It was just fucking gone. Like that is nature is so scary.
Yeah, it's like down to the foundation.
Yeah,
like that kind of stuff.
It was just like ripped. But then she was like walking around. She's like, "Oh, I found my china." Just like weird shit like that, where it's like. You can't predict.
You ever see the video? It's maybe a couple years ago. Might have been when like the tornadoes were at Joplin, Missouri. There's like a news crew filming a family outside of their house, and it was like you described. Like the house is leveled, and they're like upset, and they're looking at all their stuff, and then like all of a sudden their cat walks up. Like,
I think it was a dog. It was like an old lady and her dog.
Well, no, the one I saw was cat.
Oh.
They're like, the cat's been missing since the tornado, like for 4 days.
Yeah.
It just like walks up like nothing happened.
Typical cat.
I've seen the one with the dog where it's like a really dramatic reuniting.
Yeah.
And the old
like
lady.
they pick up a piece of debris and the dog's just there like, hey, what's
Oh, God, I love that shit.
Oh, did you see the photo of the dog in one of it was like a small South Texas town. He got out of his yard and he was just running through the street and he had his bag of food in his mouth.
I saw that.
It was so awesome.
Got
But apparently he made
rations.
it back to his family. So he's awesome.
Yeah, but it's like total homeward bound stuff.
Yeah.
It's like,
But he was prepping, like you said.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know when I'm going to need this.
Yeah.
Probably soon.
Pressure's changing. Gotta go.
I would love to be in the local newsrooms when they talk about how there's some kind of bad weather coming and the awkwardness when everybody is wondering what poor reporter is going to get sent out into the middle of that cyclone. Because, they're always, so close.
Oh, they fight for it.
They fight for it, Patrick.
I was going to say, I
Their
feel like
time
I would
to
want
shine,
to do
yeah.
that. That sounds like pretty badass.
Patrick, he, for those of you who don't know, he worked in local broadcast news for, a good amount of time. So they're always, I guess, because they'll get the attention. And is it because they can get on national news?
Yeah, national, and it's a good resume.
They can get on national and it's good on their resume.
That's
Yeah.
I would fight to go do it because
Okay, that's next
awesome.
natural disaster. We're sending Blaine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Cover it.
Yeah.
What I thought was kind of fun about this was the first enormous phenomenon where we had a lot of live streaming services available. So I was following along with all this on Periscope and this guy's broadcast went down and he never came back for the night. I was like, oh, what happened? Is he dead? But he didn't. I don't think he died. I haven't checked. But it was just kind of cool to see it happening in real time.
Yeah.
That's another interesting aspect of, I don't. What do you call it if you're like stocking up on stuff in preparation for
doomsday prep?
Doomsday prep. Yeah. Getting all of the USB chargers that you can find, making sure they're charged, and even with those like big batteries where you can plug stuff into. Just because, if you lose your phone, you lose your access to all of the information of what's going on around. Like, I imagine that's supposed to be so much scarier. Mm-hmm. So on the table, we just stacked our little USB power things.
Well, and that's the thing I read this big thread and I was like, God, it makes so much fucking sense. They were like, don't use this hashtag. Okay, so hashtags are like the greatest and the worst thing ever. They're the greatest thing ever because it unites people. If they're looking for one common subject to follow, they use a hashtag. But then if there's some dumbass, it's like, oh, I wonder how things are with hashtag Hurricane Harvey. Like, people are using that hashtag as a news source, like people in Houston. So whenever you're filling that shit up with like, oh, prayers for the victims of Hurricane Harvey, you're just adding to that noise. And it's like you're taking away like the ability to access that useful information in a quick manner. Because like that they don't have TV and their radios. I don't know if they're using the radio or not, but like they have to use the cell phones and the hashtags. So when people are filling it up. So basically, moral of the story is don't use a hashtag for prayers and stuff like that. Like, you can say that, but just don't hashtag it because you're cluttering up the whole news process.
So you sort by top instead of new.
Yeah.
Gets rid of the dum-dums.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe we're missing some kind of way to better communicate and keep people informed. Like, I think right now you just go on Twitter and find the Weather Channel, find your local paper. But you're right. Like, you can clutter stuff up so much. But if there was an official channel... This is boring. I'm not bringing this up.
I thought you were leading to something like you were going to...
No, what I would suggest is finding a way, like we have alerts or we have the emergency broadcast system with radio and television, to find an equivalent with phones and cell phones that's not something unofficial. Like, oh, just go follow this Twitter account. Like the closest thing we have are those like little alerts that go to your phone. I think for bad weather and when kids get kidnapped. I turn those off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, kid. You got to figure out your own problems. We all got issues. So, I don't know.
Like,
maybe
Twitter
that's something that they could look into.
Twitter stories have kind of been doing that. Like, I was following a story for Hurricane Harvey. And it was curated. Like, so they would take the best and most relevant tweets and add them. It was just, probably 25 tweets that encompassed what had happened at that point. And they were keeping it updated and would get notified when there were new things posted to it instead of just following the hashtag. It's a curated hashtag.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I've never used that feature before.
It's pretty cool. I don't use it as often. Twitter stories or what are moments? Is that what they're called?
There you go, moments.
Yeah. I've only used it a few times, but it's pretty neat.
Oh, it's like, have you, like, when you say, like, when you go to the little search bar on Twitter and then you access them there, or are you saying you haven't made your own Twitter moment?
I've made a couple of Twitter moments.
Yeah.
But
you're just still kind of unfamiliar with the whole thing because I love those things. Like, it has, like, super relevant information, drops news and stuff.
I want to read this thing right here.
Sure.
I want to remind everyone, this episode of the Received Podcast is brought to you by Boomerang. Boomerang is a new subscription video app offering timeless cartoons and new original animated series. If you need some cartoon catharsis, Boomerang's got anvils falling on Wile E. Coyote's head, Tom endlessly chasing Jerry, and Scooby Snacks with the Mystery Inc. crew. You can find Boomerang on web, mobile, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, Roku, Chromecast. Just visit boomerang.com/rooster and use promo code Rooster to start your free trial today. Go check it out. It's actually pretty cool. I've looked into it even before they sent us. They were our sponsor.
Exciting.
Do they have like Hanna-Barbera? Who else do they have in there?
Let me look
I'm
up
looking at
everyone.
right now.
Classic cartoons.
Wait.
Oh my god.
That's syndicated from Cartoon Network. They have Powerpuff Girls,
Oh,
Grandpa, okay, Go. They have Tom and Jerry, Looney Tunes, Merry Melody, Scooby-Doo.
I loved Tom and Jerry. Was like one of my favorite cartoons growing up.
No, I love Tom and Jerry and all the old Looney Tunes stuff.
If they had Tiny Toons, I would be all over that.
Oh my gosh,
love Tiny Toons.
Love Tiny Toons. I think I feel like I know most of the theme song. It's like weird how certain things, like there's a lot about my life I don't remember from yesterday, but there are certain things that you could remember just from like beginning to
at
end.
the University, we'll earn our toon degree.
Well, I think
our
we're tiny, we're toony, we're all a little loony, and in this cartoony, we're invading your TV.
The scripts are rejected. Expect the unexpected.
I think there's censors in there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then they're like, at Acme University, we get our toon degree.
Take it away, Gus.
Our teachers have been getting less since 1933.
Dude, I watched so much TV when I was a kid. It was just so much like endless amounts of cartoons.
Yeah.
You're really into that, Blaine.
Okay.
Wow. Got to work off that enchilada he ate.
Yeah. Oh, God.
The lunch was really good today.
It was really good.
Yeah.
Those are some quality.
Muy bien.
Vivo's a pretty, high quality restaurant.
It's one of the few places you can get puffy tacos in Austin.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
What's a puffy taco?
I know, it just sounds
like a vagina.
Oh, not needed.
Amaya's has like pseudo puffy tacos that are really good. Those are my favorite.
No,
I haven't been ever since they moved.
Yeah, it's much better.
Is it like a shell that's crunchy? Or?
It's like pseudo. It's like a puffed up corn tortilla.
Oh, so it's like a pork rind kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But not that crispy. Like it still has a little give to it. It's
okay.
Good.
Oh,
it's good.
I want to try that.
Shorter.
That sounds good.
It's really good.
I'm not hungry at all, but I'm like, I could force one of those down my stomach.
And they're like covered in government cheese. It's the best.
So good.
Government cheese.
Mm-hmm. Some super processed bright orange cheese.
So
that's how you know it's real cheese.
Hell
is when
yeah.
it's bright orange like that.
So
real cheese.
We've been talking about natural disasters and being like super down and shit. Did you guys hear that North Korea launched another missile at Japan? And apparently, like, Japan was like, get to shelters.
Yeah, that just happened right before we came on air, like 30 minutes ago, maybe.
Yeah.
So, yeah, apparently the missile flew over Japan.
My fucking God.
And where'd it land?
In the
sea.
sea. Yeah, they were definitely warning inhabitants of that island to get to shelter.
What's the end game?
The end game is, and then they've said this as well, you just have to acknowledge what they say their goal is, to not be fucked with. I think the regime looks to other regimes elsewhere that have been removed and toppled because they didn't have nuclear weapons and nuclear power.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is that by showing they do have nuclear weapons, by showing they have missiles that can take things certain places, then we won't fuck with them. The problem is the more they do it, the more antagonized we get. It's really easy for it to be a slippery slope. You don't know when to stop. And, I think the moment that everybody is worrying about is when it becomes clear that they can strike Los Angeles.
Yeah.
That's when you could see a lot of movement.
But you would have to have movement before that. You don't wait until they can hit you.
Well, I think like when they feel like they're close or when they feel like
we're already pretty much there.
I don't think they believe. I don't think they don't know if they have like the nukes working, and they know they don't have the guidance.
Yeah, they can't do it reliably.
They've been doing a bunch of there's been a peak in seismic activity though, which implies that they've had blasts. They just might be doing them underground or something.
We'd be able to detect like a nuclear
radiation.
blast. Yeah like we could detect that from space. Like I guarantee you, there's like 1,000 satellites, and then I'm sure the CIA has a decent amount of spies as well. I mean, there was speculation that we had spies within their program sabotaging. So I think it's everyone trying to do their best to slow things down before it gets to that point. But I mean, it's interesting because with the hurricane, you have all this news that kind of gets covered. There's something interesting that Tillerson said, who's I've been pleasantly surprised with, honestly, since he got the job. He has been trying to talk to North Korea previously and say, we're not trying to remove you from power. We need to chill. And just the other day said that the president of the United States does not speak for presidential and foreign policy.
The fuck does that mean?
Because, I mean, when he makes statements about we're going to blow you off of the face of the planet, it understandably antagonizes the North Korean
saying,
regime.
Like, you can't take his words literally.
But
that was the latest one.
He's the goddamn president.
Yeah.
So it's like, that is such a mixed message to the world.
It's like we're getting close to a constitutional monarchy, to where we have a leader that doesn't actually have any power.
But he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And traditionally, I mean, presidents do dictate foreign policy. So that's a really weird.
That's really where they have all of their control.
Right.
Like presidents can't really do much in domestic policy.
I'm pretty glad
relatively speaking.
They said that though. Because don't worry about him.
Yeah. But how can you not? I mean, John Oliver did a really great segment a couple weeks ago in North Korea. And I won't keep talking and blabbing, but his general message was that there's so many funny things to isolate about him that make really great headlines and clickbait. But he's not dumb. What they're doing is really bad to their own people, and what they're doing and stocking up on their weapons and putting out to the world is bad. The more we joke about him, the more we turn him into a cartoon and don't take him seriously.
Yeah.
Because what he's doing is logical. Like the steps he's taking are logical. And if you don't take, your enemies seriously, you're never going to be able to, deal with them. You're never going to be able to face them. So, and I mean, this issue, it's not Trump's fault. It's not necessarily Obama's fault. It's not necessarily George W.'s fault. This is something that's been getting to this point for years.
I mean, it's like Truman's fault, man. It's like over a 50-year-old issue that's still going on.
Yeah, I mean, my grandfather was in the Navy and he was in the Korean War. And it's bad. Like, we call it the Korean War, but it was the Chinese-American War. That war was the United States going to war against China, and there were North Koreans who fought. It was, for the most part, largely Chinese with Russian backing. Like, it's bad. It was really bad. And we know that going back to that just can't work. It can't be sustained. So then what do you do? And nobody has a good answer for that. And it's not because they're dumb.
Well, it's also, I mean, the other problem you're dealing with here is the countries are in such close proximity that, like, Seoul is within artillery range of North Korea. And who was it? Was it Tillerson who said that there's no way we would attack until you figure out how you don't keep 10 million people from dying in the first 30 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, less than 30 minutes, 10 minutes. I mean, just people think about missiles and nuclear weapons, just shelling,
a major
you just destroy everything, and I don't know. That's tough. And granted, everything we're saying, there's 1,000 different ways to look at it. I'm not trying to call ourselves experts. I'm sure a lot of you might disagree. People disagree with stuff. This is complicated.
You just have to
there's no right or wrong answer here.
You just have to hope that cooler heads prevail. I mean, ultimately, like definitely. What you said is the case, right? Like, they have nuclear weapons. North Korea has nuclear weapons, and they don't use them, but they test them, and they use their missiles to show that they have power.
Yeah.
So that other people don't go in and invade them.
Mm-hmm.
They have no incentive to provoke the fight. Because if they provoke the fight, they lose their seat of power.
Right.
Yeah.
They just have to show that deterrent to keep people away.
I mean, they're banking on this idea. And again, I could be completely wrong, but I believe after World War II, Truman, a lot of the administration wanted to scale down the military, but with the idea that we have an air force and we could drop nukes on people. And there was a report that said, look, we can't. Like, there's no bright line for when you can drop a nuke and have it morally be accepted by the rest of the world when we're outside of this big world conflict. And that's why we haven't seen a nuke drop, because it's, what is the phrase, a zero-sum game? There's no winners.
Yep.
There's no winner there. And I think he knows that. Like, he knows that they can't drop a nuke on him. And we don't really need to because of all the other, abilities we have. But it's bad. Like, the only time we've obviously only dropped 2 nukes on people, but those were atomic weapons. It's like a single blast. We have hydrogen bombs now, thermonuclear bombs that are basically 2 bombs in one that can destroy so much more. Like, this is, there's no winner with nuclear weapons.
I want to say thanks to at the small 001 on Twitter who corrected me. It was actually Steve Bannon who said there's no option that doesn't kill 10 million people in Seoul.
Huh?
Yeah.
Not Tillerson.
He's right.
Yep.
And sorry, I know a lot of people disagree. I'm sure I'm wrong about a lot of stuff.
No, just be confident. Even if you're wrong, just be confident.
I think the big point that everybody needs to understand is there's no right or wrong answer. You can be right about something. You can be wrong about something else. Things are so complicated where you have to accept that there could be one small thing you're wrong about, and that's okay. Your position's still good. We can't just come under this idea that if someone disagrees about one small thing, then they're wrong and we're right, and we have to defend ourselves, because there's not enough crosstalk right now within both sides, and that's what's inevitably going to push us. I'll stop talking.
Yep. So all you North Korean viewers out there, please chime in.
So I read an interesting article a few days ago about how North Korea probably learned from Libya never to give up their nuclear weapons.
Yeah, that must,
because Libya had a nuclear program and stopped it, and then ultimately, the government destabilized and Gaddafi got murdered by rebels.
Yeah. I remember there's a few examples they went to. I guess Iraq's complicated because some people thought they had it, but I mean, it's his point makes sense. And I would go watch that John Oliver episode, and it might be on YouTube.
Yeah, they usually put them up on YouTube.
He runs through it pretty thoroughly.
Someone on Twitter wrote, politics. I really don't think there's a political discussion at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
this is just
kind
our
of a world
doomsday
event.
talk.
we're not talking about abortion policy here, or even the fucking wall. You know, this is something.
Yeah. Speaking of the wall,
we are all on the same page here when it comes to war. Don't want it.
No war, no nuclear weapons.
So we can't talk about Game of Thrones.
Yeah, too soon.
Oh no,
Probably
it's the finale. I'm not big on spoilers.
I thought about doing something funny for this podcast. I was going to suggest to broadcast. We're not going to do this. I was going to suggest that we have a lower third that says spoiler that covered when we're talking Game of Thrones spoilers, and then we put that graphic up, and then we don't talk about spoilers. We just try to like mimic weird things so that people who put it on mute wonder what the fuck we're talking about, like sucking a giant dick, or yeah, just having like funny pantomimes.
Right? Yep.
Oh my god, that just made me nauseous.
I think overall the season was fun, but I feel like they kind of lost their balls a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, I think the show got a little neutered. It's a little fan servicey and.
How so?
Well,
They were definitely
Ed
fan
Sheeran,
servicey. I'll give you that.
definitely.
There was a little too much dialogue that was like wink or like cute stuff.
Well, I read an interesting article about how they rushed too many of the reunions this season. Like they're trying to cram in all these storylines they have to close out.
6 episodes left now.
Yeah.
I'm guessing the key was they knew where they had to be on episode 1 of the last season. That wasn't under negotiation, so it was just how do they get to that point. That's why you saw people complained about it. I didn't think it was that big a deal. They would cross. No, it's not.
Okay.
They would cross huge amounts of land very quickly.
Oh yeah.
And it's I don't need to see them going down the King's Road for 2 episodes.
Yeah, there were definitely. I commented on that in a few episodes. I'm like, what the hell?
Well, like in season 2, season 1, Arya spends like half the season on the King's Road, the entire season on the King's Road.
It's just like, oh, I get it. So I don't know. I mean, it's an issue of you think they should have just kept with a 10.
Yeah, I think
a 10 episode season.
Let's save all the Game of Thrones talk for another time.
All right.
Wait, so then in the meantime, now that that's gone, and I feel like Westworld, have they announced when that's coming out?
They released a trailer. Have you seen?
I saw the trailer. It's a fucking dope trailer.
Yeah, they were so fast to crank that out too.
They probably only shot shots of the trailer.
Seriously, like they released a trailer after they'd been filming for what, like a week? Maybe it was something insanely.
I'm just happy because the Hemsworth brothers back. Like he saw him in the trailer and was like, "That's all I need. That's all I need."
Apparently was he the military guy?
Yeah.
Apparently he's a really big character. Like they promoted him to.
Well, I feel like he's gonna
I love that guy.
He's gonna be like a replicant, or is he?
A replicant.
Who knows?
You're getting your sci-fi cross.
Yep.
He's super. I enjoy that guy. But then they also had Dolores riding that cow, like the horse, just like so hot. She's just like,
Jesus, Blaine.
She's so cool.
Can we see that again, but in slower motion? Let's see it.
See, that's the kind of pantomime I want during the spoiler thing.
Up here, just like I'm super excited about that. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess Stranger Things is going to eventually come out. I hate that I've become the very thing I did not want to become, which is like someone that just lives from TV show to TV show. But
I
like
hate the slump between there's a rare 4-week window in my life where I have nothing to watch. I
just don't like media governing my level of enjoyment of life, you know, where it's like, I guess I gotta wait until next season. And there's like,
well, there was almost like too much. It sounds like a terrible problem to have, but I feel there are a few things that I watch, and I felt like a lot of it was on Sunday.
Oh yeah, like I'm really behind on Twin Peaks. I'm 2-3 weeks behind.
I didn't watch last night's Rick and Morty, but that's
I did. It was actually pretty good.
Yeah,
it
was pretty good.
Why do you say it like that? Are you one of the season 3 haters?
No. I thought there's one episode I didn't like from season 3, like the Mad Max one. I didn't think it was that. No, I loved Pickle Rick.
That was the season opener, wasn't it?
No,
the season opener was the one that they played on April Fool's Day,
which was a fucking phenomenal.
It was a great episode.
So they didn't air that in the regular season?
They didn't.
Then I still haven't seen it. I thought that was the one that yeah.
Okay,
so there's the one in the
Pickle episode was the best.
Do you Steel Team Ricks? Does that ring a bell? Okay, you haven't seen it. It's so fucking good.
It's so good. Yeah, it revolves the story.
The one with the Szechuan sauce. You haven't seen that one?
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it. So when it was like on that loop on April Fool's Day, I was like, I just need to. I want to watch it normally, and then I never did.
Well, it's on their website. You can.
Yeah, I think it's one of their best episodes. I feel like.
Yeah,
okay.
It's really strong.
I thought Pickle Rick was great, but
Pickle Rick was great.
I think people are just like really shitting on it this year.
No. There's been a lot of good episodes. The last week was the
where he was
the Rick and Jerry adventure.
And Rick,
Rick
and Jerry
dumb. Episode.
I haven't seen that one yet. That's where I need to catch.
And then the one yesterday was really fucking good.
God, sweet. I'm excited to watch it.
I like the week before where Rick was the supervillain. And they go so far, and I don't know, people feel like they cross the line of how ridiculously powerful Rick is. While he's drunk, he puts all of these.
Right.
It was like Bond villain stuff together.
I'm totally
Morty
okay
thought
with
he
that.
was the chosen one, that Rick was all proud of him, and it turned out to be the little nub dude or whatever. Yeah.
I love that Rick is omnipotent. He's just such a funny fucking dude. I don't know. He has enough personal flaws that I think for him to just be insanely smart is fine with me. Yeah. But
it's kind of one of those things you worry about being what is it, Deus Ex Machina? Deus Ex Machina. Deus Ex Machina, where you can resolve any problem in the plot by Rick just throw something together.
Yeah.
But, so I guess it just depends. But I think it's a great season. I think it's really fun.
That's a show that I watch, and I there's no stakes, and that's fine. It's just I don't need is Rick gonna die this episode? They don't need to do that.
But they still do have that overarching story. Jerry and Beth still are separated and living separately, and they're continuing some of that story, which is weird to me that there is this backdrop.
Yeah.
I just whenever Jerry's out alone and the wind blows and he just huh?
Yeah, that episode, the show's fantastic. If anybody doesn't watch it, I'd highly recommend it. It's really, really funny.
I need to go back and watch the old episodes because I binge watched them while I was on maternity leave, and I just it's like a black hole of my life. I was getting zero sleep, and my short-term memory was
I'm sure the show's better like that.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty. I was basically stoned. So yeah, it was very entertaining, but I don't remember so much of the storyline, and it is, it kind of factors in, but yeah, worth a
No, I envy you. There's so many times I wish I could forget shows just so I can go back and watch them for the first time.
Yeah.
But is Stranger Things coming out in October?
I think it's October.
I'm so fucking stoked for that.
Yeah, that fucking trailer they put out at Comic-Con was so good.
Oh my god. And that was the perfect use of Thriller.
Yeah.
So good. I was trying to find that remix version of that song because it's slightly altered.
Yeah, they're doing the Vincent Price voiceover part.
Yeah, which was dope. And then they I think they bumped up some of them. I don't know. It just sounded like a more dancier version. Nah, it was good.
Yeah, it's fucking great. And also, I'm really excited about that other Netflix show that's coming out later this year, Bright. I don't know if you...
I haven't heard anything about that.
That's a movie. It's a
Netflix movie, sorry. Do you know what Shadowrun is? It's like a D&D type game. Okay, well...
Yeah.
Bright looks like a Shadowrun movie. It's cops in L.A., but there's also orcs and elves and magic.
That's awesome.
So it's modern technology plus magic plus D&D kind of races and dealing with how does everyone get along. And
I think it came with it wasn't Overwatch. What was that game called where you play a super cop in the future, and there's it was one of the first games that really touted destructible buildings. Crackdown. So I think with Crackdown you got a free demo, or it might have been reverse, of Shadowrun. Did you ever play the Shadowrun video game?
Yeah.
On Xbox?
Yeah.
So that's the one we did 1-800-MAGIC
Yeah, we did a series in it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Way to go, Blaine.
Well, no, that was I don't fucking care. That was I got a job here anyways. I'm fine. I feel like that was pre-Overwatch. I loved the shit out of that game, and I feel like it just.
Yeah, it's because it was online only. I mean, it was a $60 full retail game that you had to play via Xbox Live.
But I mean, what a great precursor! I feel like it was just so ahead of its time because now you have nothing but those types of games.
What destructible?
Oh no! So it was the Shadowrun. It was just basically it was like Overwatch. Mm-hmm. You had different classes. They were all mystical, crazy, different and unique. And I don't know why, but I remember having really fond memories of that game. And I think it flopped.
Yeah, it was fun. I think that there wasn't there wasn't enough map variety. There weren't enough classes. It was a little limited.
The demo was badass.
Mm-hmm.
Well, do you think the movie? So there's orcs, elves, and just other humans. Do you think it's going to be a really kind of obvious allegory to what's going on in the United States?
Oh, I mean, they very clearly call out that Will. Have you seen the trailer?
No.
Will Smith's partner is the first orc police officer ever. Mm-hmm. And they're dealing with racial prejudices between all three races.
There's an Orcs Life Matter campaign.
I don't know about that. I wouldn't go that far. But everyone's giving him shit because he's paired up with an orc, and I mean, it's not. I don't think it's allegorical at all. I think they're very in your face, very direct about it.
Yeah.
The elves are the 1%, the super elite. The humans are in the middle, and the orcs are the very bottom.
So it's Will Smith and then the guy that plays the orc. What the fuck's his name? He was in
This dude right here?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. What is his name?
Couldn't tell you who that is.
Joel Edgerton. Yeah. I did not recognize that was Joel Edgerton. He's like one of my favorite actors.
What's he? And that name doesn't ring.
He was most recently. He was in that really dope horror movie. It Comes at Night. But he's Tom Hardy's brother in Warrior, the guy the fighting movie, which is a really good movie. He's shit. What else is Joel Edgerton in?
I'll IMDb him.
So was that the orc, the guy who kind of had a bunch of just scales on his face? Okay, that looks way more normal than I was thinking. I was thinking like Shrek, like some guy having to wear like a giant thing on his face,
He was in
like Worf had to wear for
Black Mass,
The
100
Gift,
episodes.
Exodus.
I haven't seen any of these movies.
Midnight Special was a fucking dope.
Great
Great Gatsby. Yeah.
Zero Dark 30,
Oh yeah, he was Buchanan or whatever.
Legend of the Guardians. I thought that was Guardians of the Galaxy.
In the unfortunate The Thing reboot. I think I should watch that again.
Did you see Guardians of the Galaxy? The second one?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
It was okay.
Really?
I thought the first one was a lot better.
Oh, that's crazy. I thought it was amazing.
I thought they were like, on this one, they were like, last time we let James Gunn have some fun, we kind of kept him under wraps, but like we, let him do his thing. And then this time they were like, let's just go full out James Gunn. And it was just like too much.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. I didn't like dislike it or anything. I just thought the first one was better.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I thought it was like the best bad guy that I've seen in a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
And I guess like I feel like the better bad guy you have, the better, more engaging the story's going to be. And I'm a sucker. Like I'm too emotional and sensitive. So like at the end of it, when in the funeral, I was like, oh my God.
Well,
Spoiler alert.
Come on.
I'm like, okay, so I love Marvel movies and like I went and saw Spider-Man. Like the Captain America movies I think are like pretty much damn near perfection.
Who's the best bad guy?
That's the thing. And that's what I was getting to is like, I feel like the bad guys in the Marvel universe are all kind of lame. And I feel like I'm getting bored of the movies overall because like there's no stakes.
It's more about their struggle and less about who they're fighting.
Well, it's just like the next one that I'm excited for is like, I guess because it's Thanos, I'm pretty sure people are going to die. And like, I don't give a shit unless I'm going to walk away from that movie and like a character has died. Otherwise,
you're talking like Infinity War.
Huh?
You're talking like Infinity War?
Yeah, like people are going to get killed in Infinity War. And I'm totally fine with that. Like, I feel like they need to have more stakes because right now it's like you go into it and it's like, oh, there's this end of the world scenario.
Even in Civil War, like
always
Rhodey's in that awful situation. Like, oh, I mean, he's hurt, but like
he has robot legs.
He's to live, right? Like that, like he's gonna recover.
Yeah, I think I've seen like concept art of him in the War Machine outfit again. So it's like he's fine. It's just like they don't kill people off. I just want. Same thing with Game of Thrones. I just want them to have the balls to kill somebody.
Aren't there some storylines where Tony Stark can't walk outside of the suit?
I think he's talking about the movies, though.
No, I'm trying to say, like, they could do the same thing except with War Machine, right? Like, because it's
but he was already walking at the end of Civil War. I mean,
was learning how to walk again. But yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, I guess, like, with Civil War, if Iron Man and Captain America were more adversarial, kind of like how they were at that end fight, but earlier, I'd feel a little bit better about it, because the movie still didn't feel like it had an antagonist, and the protagonist didn't feel like they became antagonists. Like, did you guys like the second season of Walking Dead?
No.
Second season.
That's where I stopped watching it, where it's just like, oh, well, some other shit happened. Now we got to go find this person.
Farm.
Oh, so yeah, there was no bad guys.
Well, no, Shane became. I mean, you had a main character who was a friend, like a really good friend,
by then,
and Shane became the bad guy. He and Rick became complete antagonists to one another, and I thought it worked.
Yeah.
But I guess at Civil War, I just still felt like I just don't know who the
Shane was.
Maybe I'm too simple that I need a bad guy.
I liked Civil War a lot. I thought Civil War was probably the best one that they've done so far.
No, I agree with that. Yeah,
it's good.
But like, I mean, I saw Homecoming and I was just kind of like, it was fine. It was okay, fun.
Mike Keaton was good. They didn't give him a lot of work with Vulture, but I thought it was good.
Dude, Michael Keaton's he could do anything.
He's the bomb.
I love him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, he just, like, doesn't do anything for a while and does one, like, really crazy movie, and then now he's, like, such hot shit.
There was a bit where I think, like, Kimmel or somebody was like, yeah, Spider-Man's, like, my favorite. And he's like, what the fuck? And then he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I know you're, like, the Hawk Vulture guy, but he's like, no, I'm fucking Batman! Yeah. And he's like, acting like he's going to lead the
Birdman
show.
and Batman.
He's so cool.
Yeah, I'm a Beetlejuice guy.
Yeah. Beetlejuice is great. My favorite movie.
Let me read this here. I want to remind everyone this episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast is also brought to you by 5-4. Looking good doesn't need to cost a fortune. 5-4 Clubs is revolutionizing the way men shop. Each month, they send you a curated box of 2 to 3 items that are handpicked to match the current season and your style. They've been helping men with fashion for over 15 years and ship to over 100,000 men every month. They know what they're doing, so if you don't, that's okay. 5-4 Club will help you build your wardrobe 1 month at a time, because when you look good, you feel good. It's a fact of life. You get $120 worth of clothes for just $60 a month. You can pause or cancel anytime, no commitments. And as a 5-4 Club member, you also receive up to 50% off items in their online shop and access to exclusive members-only items, free shipping, and size exchanges. Go to 54club.com right now. Enter promo code RTP. They'll give you 50% off your first month's package plus a free pair of sunglasses. It's 50% off your first package at 54 Club. You have to spell it out, FIVEFOUR club.com. They wrote it there. Promo code RTP. 54club.com, promo code RTP. Thank you, 54 Club. Patrick just sent me a link. I guess that new It movie is getting really good early reviews.
I've had to tell Alana to refer to it as Stephen King's It or It the movie, because she'll be like, it's getting great reviews. And I'll be like, what are you talking about? She's like, It. Oh, okay.
Who's on first?
I'm super fucking excited for that movie.
Yeah, one thing I can't tell, I don't know if you guys have better sense for it or if you've heard anything about it. The thing I liked about the TV movie was that the clown Pennywise was like psychologically terrifying. Mm-hmm. It's almost like if we're doing this podcast and Blaine, you see him here and he's fucking with you and yelling at you and none of us see him. He busts like, a balloon full of blood where gets everywhere. Is this movie, he's just kind of scarier? Like he just kind of pops in and is like, I think like a more, traditional.
I feel like they might be setting up like a series or something, because it seems like from what I've seen, they only have him following the kids, which is part of the story, because he follows them as children and then as like young adults and then as adults or something. Is that right?
It's a pretty long book.
Right.
Like the first part of it is.
So I feel like
the movie seems focused just on
the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it's a period piece. So I think it's just going to be like,
unless they're intentionally just showing a very small portion of the movie in the trailers.
Fucking great. Right. That would be awesome. I'd be all down for that.
I just wonder if they're going to cover the kid gangbang or not.
Oh God, I forgot about that. Yeah,
probably not.
What is it?
I forget the name of the female character. She thought like a better way for them to calm down is if they were to share some kind of experience together. Oh. And this is my really, really bad explanation of her motivations. Sure it's wrong.
Why?
And so she has kind of sex with all of them, and it's in the book, and it's like one of those things that's crazy shit in books that aren't in the movie. Like I think the monkey in Forrest Gump, and when he goes to space and crashes in India, they left that out of the movie.
Yeah, I haven't heard about that.
That's because that was Apollo 13. That was a separate movie, Forrest Gump.
That book and movie, Let the Right One In. It was remade as an American movie called Choose the Right One or something. I can't remember what it was called. I saw the movie and then I read the book, and there was this scene in the book that was the most gruesome, fucked up thing I've ever read. I was like, if this had been included in the movie, it would have been rated X, hands down. Like it's where this is like this like zombie dick that keeps coming back to life, and this kid has to like smush it, and it has this erection where it's like a pedophile's dick. It's just the most fucked up thing. It's like 15 pages of descriptive dick stuff. Like I can't even say it. Dick stomping.
That sounds like someone's fetish.
Yeah,
dick stomping.
Oh, yeah. I've seen videos. No.
Oh, oof. Who was it? There was somebody that I was talking to where they like had a friend or knew somebody or something that people would pay this person that they're friends with to come in high heels and stomp on their balls and dick with high heels on, with their stilettos. And
it's the easiest work ever. Like, right. Gold mine.
To each his own, man.
But it's like,
I would pay someone to not do that.
That sounds,
is that an option?
That sounds so painful that like I'm
gonna.
What if they just came to your house every day and you just had to like pay them for the go away?
Are we gonna step on your balls today? No.
Here you go.
Give me a milk money.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, that's just extortion, right? Like real nice balls you got there. It'd be a shame if someone stomped on them
with high heels.
Yeah, it's like you start kind of resisting. They come the next day in like foot long heels. Ow. Oof. Jeez. Ugh.
foot-long heels. That's difficult.
Did you all see that? I was reading a story earlier today that this past weekend's box office was the worst one in 15 years.
Really? Is it because of the hurricane?
It's the worst weekend since September 2001.
Whoa.
9/11.
Right. It's like the worst weekend was, it wasn't the weekend right after 9/11. It was the one after that.
Wow.
I mean, morale's pretty fucking low right now.
The top 12 movies this weekend combined did not break $50 million.
What's in the box office right now?
The top three,
Bodyguard.
Did anything open?
Hitman's Bodyguard, Annabelle 2, and Leap are the top three.
I haven't even heard of any of those.
Wind River's 4, Logan Lucky, Dunkirk. I mean...
And Dunkirk's been there a while.
I mean, Hitman's Bodyguard, according to my mom, who was like a great film critic, said she was great. She loved it.
Do we know what opened last week?
Last week would have been you mean this past weekend?
Yes.
The only new movies I see on here are Leap, Birth of the Dragon, and the Mayweather-McGregor fight is on here.
Which apparently was like a red letter day for Fathom.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I watched
$2.6 million.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, it was good. Well, I think it's possible Mayweather kind of carried
Mayweather.
Mayweather
Against McDonald's.
Yeah, he might have carried him because I think a lot of people weren't happy with the last fight that he did. That it just wasn't good. And
before he retired,
Manny Pacquiao. So I think he carried a little bit longer than.
Is that the one that was like 5 minutes long?
I don't remember.
Pacquiao.
That is fucked up, but that's cool to me. Where it's like he just gets in the ring and just beats a guy's ass in no time flat.
Not if you paid $100 for it. That is.
That's why I'm not a fucking dumbass and I don't pay for it.
Any of you guys watch that fight?
Yeah, I did.
What?
It was good. Yeah, I think
this past one.
Oh yeah.
Did
you pay, Brandon?
No, I split it with a friend. I went to a sports bar. And I was like, "Can you guys show them the fight?" They're like, "No." I'm like, "What?" They're like, "No, we don't show the fight." I'm like, "You're a sports bar.
Yeah.
Why do you exist?"
It's the transmission fee, the retransmission fee that they have to pay.
Well, they'd have to charge. I mean, I wouldn't have to pay $100.
They can't charge people if they're showing it.
No, they can, but then they have to pay a licensing fee for that, and the licensing fee is a lot of money. So they have to make sure that they're going to meet a certain number of people, charging them a certain price in order to make their money back.
I watched some Irish dudes commentating on it live on YouTube. I didn't see any of the fight. Just watching these guys and updating Twitter every now and then between that and going and playing Rainbow Six Siege. I'm so glad I didn't spend what was $100? Mm-hmm. Fuck that.
I don't know. It was good. It was entertaining.
Yeah, I did not want to give any more money to Floyd Mayweather. So, I mean, I was curious about the fight, but I did not purchase it.
Well, I think he's guaranteed $100 million, but they say he's going to make more because he gets a percentage. Mm-hmm. They think he got $250 last time, and they think it's going to be more than that.
See, and that's why, and like, if you tuned into it, like, whatever, if your hobby's fighting, that's great. But like, I didn't want to support it because they've been doing some gross shit to promote the fight.
Like what?
And building up all the hype. Well, like, McDonald's started, bringing back Merriweather's, wife beating incident, or, like they started getting like he started using that as like his like rallying cry. It's like, this guy, just like bringing attention to his domestic abuse stuff.
Oh, I had no idea. Yeah. That's fucked up.
I mean, they're both pieces of shit. McGregor talks a lot of shit. Mayweather's a piece of shit.
Well, apparently Merriweather, I'm going to keep calling him the wrong name because I'm going to fuck. Because it's just going to drive the boxing fans insane. And then they're going to box me. Merriweather hit his girlfriend because he thought she was with some NBA player. So then McDonald's wore that NBA player's jersey and just started talking it up. Yeah. And it's like, no one's thinking about the girlfriend that got beaten in this situation. It's like, what does she think about this? And then, they use like racism and stuff like that. It's like, it's gross.
Yeah, that's fucked up. I guess I hadn't been paying enough attention. I knew they were talking shit, which is normal, but I had no idea it was something like that. Like Mike Tyson, at least he just talked about eating children
and biting ears.
Didn't
Mike Tyson beat some women too?
Yeah, he did, but I don't think he ever bragged about it or brought it up on the.
He did it. He just didn't. He wasn't a braggart about it.
What I'm saying is
correct yourself.
Exploiting that to promote the fight.
He was
I'm
not found guilty for bragging.
I think he was convicted of rape, I believe.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah,
thrown in jail.
That's not great.
Yeah,
that's not great. Something about boxers. They're
George Foreman the only wholesome family man infomercial boxer?
Well, I mean,
Lennox Lewis.
Muhammad Ali was a piece of shit because he was like, talking shit all this time, but I don't think he was a bad dude.
No, that's part of boxing. Everybody does that.
Yeah, he's just
that's how you get people to watch the fight.
But like McDonald's was actually being a prick.
Sure, no, that makes sense with what you're saying.
Yeah. Did you see the picture of McGregor's son? He's like this little baby. And he has a little suit, with a full tie and everything.
That suit was nicer than any suit I will ever own in my life. I guarantee.
It's pretty cute. I saw on the front page of Reddit, someone said McGregor versus Mayweather, and it was a picture of Ewan McGregor in the rain.
It was really good. People on the internet are funny.
Yeah. There's the little baby. Look at that guy.
Someone was like, it looks like he's gonna break his dad's knees in the fourth if he doesn't throw it or something like that.
People on Twitter love your Merriweather versus McDonald's comments. They're really into it.
I can like, people that like boxing are really into boxing. So for them to be listening to this, they're tearing their hair out.
I think UFC too.
Because
I think they have like a complex about not being taken seriously compared to boxing.
Yeah.
Well, that was kind of what this whole fight was, right?
Well, and it served that purpose, like a legitimized UFC, I think. Because, maybe Merriweather did kind of like stretch the whole thing out to make it more of a show. But like he held, McDonald's held on for a long time.
Yeah, no, he showed heart. I think he looked good, even though he lost.
Yeah, like more than he had the right to be, like for his first professional match against like one of the greatest boxers probably ever.
They're just so small.
What was this farting noise?
What?
I don't care.
They're small?
Oh.
Yeah. They're like I don't know if they're not cruiserweights, but they're like small middleweights.
It's like 149 and 154 pounds, I think.
Yeah. Apparently, they can gain like 15 pounds of weight after the weigh-in, but still, like you imagine, when you think a big boxing match, like heavyweights, like Tyson, Foreman, Ali, and it was a little smaller, but still, these guys are just a little bit more compact.
Yeah, they'd still kick my ass in an instant. McDonald's would just like make quick work of me, but still.
With the diarrhea?
There's someone who joined Twitter just 2 years ago.
Oh.
They have one tweet. They just made it. Good, it's over. Too many opinions about Mayweather versus McGregor of people who have no clue about fighting. Try silence for a change. So shut up. Everyone just be quiet.
I agree with that, I suppose.
They don't like us commentating on the Merriweather-McDonald's fight?
I guess not. Maybe they're more of a Burger King fan.
Okay.
Spoiler, we talk a lot about stuff that we don't have expertly researched.
Man,
AKA everything that we talk about.
Yeah.
I've just been feeding off shit comments lately. I don't know what it is, but it's just like I used to
just go home, watch, and just jerk off.
Well, I used to get really upset when I first started. I was just like, these people don't even know me. I'm a perfectly nice person, and they're just they don't even know me. And then like after a while, I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna ignore them. Whatever, they have their opinions, they don't know me, it's fine. Like if they met me in person, it'd be different. But now I'm just like, I seek them out, and I'm like, this person's a fucking idiot, and they have no idea what they're talking about. And I love the hate. I'm being the heel of Rooster Teeth.
You just call Muhammad Ali an asshole for being the heel.
I'm not. Well, okay. Well, I'm not denying I'm an asshole. Yeah, it's just like people are like, it's always one or two comments. Blaine is either way too proud and like full of himself, or Blaine doesn't have enough confidence. It's like if I'm one, then they're gonna shit on me for the other, and it's so fucking stupid.
I can't relate to that. No one's ever said anything mean about me.
Brandon, it's shit on more than anybody.
Yeah,
I don't know
Brandon.
What it is, man.
Yeah.
I like having you on the podcast too.
Deuce X
Fuel
machine.
I saw an article today that said that apparently, speaking of online comments, that in China, as of October 1st, there will be no more anonymous comments online.
That's great.
Really?
I love it. I fucking love it.
That everyone has to register, and you have to have your real identity tied to your account if you want to make comments on,
That's awesome.
on stuff.
Who is it that does, before you can comment on an article, you have to take a little quiz to test your comprehension
about
of an article.
what the article was about.
Yeah, to make sure you read the whole thing and actually understand.
Like a news source or something? That's great.
Yeah.
I forget who it was, but yeah, it was like some news website. I want to say it was in Europe somewhere.
Probably.
Say what you want about YouTube comments. Comments on news sites, especially like papers, local papers, those are the worst.
Yeah, I always am like, why did I do this?
Everyone and everything.
Yeah.
It's rough. I mean, I'm sure reporters are, it's not an easy job, and it's kind of tough. Like us, I get it.
Well, it fucking sucks too, because like if you see this happen, like it's us, we get it. Rooster Teeth has been around this, like we're used to the whole internet community and stuff like that. But like the girl that played Rey in Force Awakens, whatever her name was, Daisy Ridley, like deleted her Instagram because people were just shitting on her picture comments and stuff like that. And she was actually engaging them because it's like she didn't know because she just, exploded into fame in a matter of like weeks. And she like deleted her Instagram because she just couldn't take it.
Leslie Jones had a pretty rough time.
Hers was a pretty bad meltdown. Like, she just didn't understand how the internet works, and you feed the trolls, they get bigger.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever watch or have
Biggle?
She's a lot older than I thought.
Leslie Jones?
Oh yeah, she's almost 50.
She's been around.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I had no idea.
She looks good.
Yeah, she's 49. She turns 50 like in a week and a half.
Bro, I had no idea. I thought she was like 30.
Yeah, it was really crazy when I learned that the other day.
Turn away from me when I'm picking shit.
Well, here, let me read this while you do that then. Also want to remind everyone that this episode of the podcast is also brought to you by MeUndies. You want to look good in your underwear and be comfortable, right? But that perfect balance is hard to find. Don't sacrifice style or comfort. Check out MeUndies.com and find the best pair of underwear in the world. For the fellas, MeUndies diamond seam pouch cradles your jewels and gives your stuff the support it needs without feeling too tight. Ladies will love the soft, eco-friendly fabric. It's so soft and touchable. 100% satisfaction guaranteed. They guarantee you will love your undies or your money back. Right now, MeUndies has an exclusive offer. I always trip up on that one. Right now, MeUndies has an exclusive offer for our listeners. Get 20% off your first pair and free shipping. And MeUndies is so sure you'll love their underwear, they even offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee. You order a pair, and if you don't love your first pair, you get a full refund. To get your 20% off, free shipping, and their 100% satisfaction guarantee, and get the best and softest underwear you'll ever own, go to MeUndies.com/roosterteeth. That's MeUndies.com/roosterteeth. This is a limited time offer, so what are you waiting for? Start wearing the best underwear of your life. It's time to let MeUndies change your life. Go to MeUndies.com/roosterteeth right now. I'm wearing MeUndies right now.
I love that line. I want to go home and be like, come on, baby, it's nice and soft to touch.
Okay, real talk though. MeUndies does this one thing.
I don't think she wants a soft one.
They mentioned it. They have the diamond shape on the crotch.
Yeah.
They got rid of that stupid freaking flap that no one uses because I never stick my pee-pee through
still has a flap.
that flap. Mine doesn't. I don't think. I don't know. They had this like diamond
pattern.
What
do you use?
What do you mean?
What style of underwear?
Oh, like the boxer briefs.
The boxer briefs? That's right.
Yeah.
Mine still have a flap.
Mine doesn't have a flap. I don't know.
Yeah, Michael,
maybe it does, but it's just like shaped differently. I don't know.
I tell you what, I haven't closely examined the last one I had. It's in my laundry. It
maybe
just got washed.
But the way that this pattern is, moral of the story is MeUndies makes your junk look huge.
Okay.
It just makes it look huge.
Order me 30. I'm going to wear them all at the same time.
To an extent, Brandon.
No, literally.
Do y'all ever dabble in the opening in the front of the underwear?
No.
From what I've seen, it like opens here and then opens here. And you have to like snake
you'd have to like snake your dick through.
Yeah, it looks very uncomfortable.
It's dangerous. Like if you like lose your grip, it's like a guillotine. It's like snap on your dick.
And then your pee's just going like, ah!
Yeah.
Yeah. No, don't do that.
I'm not a fan.
You have to like blame it on the dog. Oh, the dog just came in here and just peed everywhere.
I still stand behind dabbing though. I'm not even going to dab.
The little tap with some toilet paper?
Yeah, I learned that from Venture Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a show that we both enjoy. It was in season 1 or 2. There's like, you got to dab. It's like, what? It's like, no, you dab.
So do you use a urinal and then you go into the other stall and...
Oh, no, I mean, I'll just shake it to death. But like, if I'm, in my own bathroom, then I'll reach down and grab a piece of toilet paper and dab.
Shake it to death?
My brother used to say, shake it, don't break it, when he was like potty training.
Shake it, don't break it.
It's funny.
Don't pee on the front of your shorts.
So I mentioned a little earlier about how it was like the worst box office in 15 years since like right after September 11th. Mm-hmm. And I meant to bring this up and I forgot. But did you all see that trailer for that 9/11 movie with Charlie Sheen, Whoopi Goldberg, and Gina Gershon?
Oh my gosh!
What year is it?
I think it's coming out soon. Like it's coming soon.
Jesus,
that sounds awful.
Yeah, it's about people trapped in an elevator.
Is it a comedy?
Wait, is this
No, it's not a comedy.
To VHS?
I don't know. Let me see if I can find it again.
In the World Trade Center?
Yeah, I think the movie's just called 9/11.
I would not want to be trapped in an elevator with Charlie Sheen.
9/11 trailer. This trailer's from a month ago. Came out in July.
Gosh, that's rough, man.
Buy tickets. All right, let's see. So Fandango. So I assume this is theatrical.
How awful!
God.
It opens September 8th.
It has to.
Good Lord. Oh, and they have to do that timing. They better hope that it's amazing. And
that guy.
It's got
Luis Guzman is in it.
I think he was in Narcos or something.
Is in a lot
He's
of
in
stuff.
everything with any like Latin American gangsters.
Based on actual events? Thank you.
Yeah, it's just really
Still really hard watching that.
really weird. And it's weird to think that it's been 16 years since that happened now.
Yeah, it's one of those things that everyone can still probably remember where they were and the experience of watching that. ABC has this really cool special where you can kind of watch their news coverage. So you see it unfold from like, the first second and like that level of uncertainty. And I don't know, it's really powerful.
Wait, is it like as it developed, like live? Because I feel like
you're watching like their footage, their anchors, their reporters. So it's, I'm sure there's a lot of editing in it, but it's
like
kind of like you experience what it was like to be and maybe relive it, like watching that stuff unfold because there's so much, uncertainty. It's like if you've watched the Walter Cronkite, I think, thing of the JFK shooting and like talking to Dan Rather and stuff, like you feel it, it's crazy.
This is a downer podcast.
I know.
I think it's the fucking weather because I'm about to go to Seattle, but like I feel like I'm already in Seattle because the weather's just so great.
I was in Seattle a couple weeks ago, months ago. It was beautiful. It was all sunny. It was great.
I like it's got a lot of trees.
It's the weekend of PAX, like Labor Day weekend, is normally pretty sunny and it's good weather.
It's Labor Day weekend. Do we have off work for that?
Yeah,
We're off Monday.
Fuck! Why didn't I book my plane accordingly? Stupid ass. Shit! I do this every Labor Day.
Are you flying back on
It's
Sunday
always
instead
the
of
first
Monday?
Monday of
Yes,
September.
you fucking idiot.
It's always for PAX. Oh, Blaine.
I'm so upset. That's a day I could have spent with.
Change it.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
It's cost money.
It's worth it. That's what I said. If you want something that's not a downer and more of an up thing,
Tell me, Gustavo.
I saw this great Japanese prank video.
Okay.
Blaine's really mad. Where this guy is told he has to go meet this woman and go on a date with her, except and the guy's wearing a tuxedo, except he's only wearing the front of the tuxedo, and he has to see how long he can go on this date with this woman without her realizing that he
Is
has
he nude in the back?
It's like you can see his underwear.
Okay.
And it's like it's all skin and underwear on the back, so he can't turn his back to her. But the twist that he doesn't know is that the woman knows that he has no back. Her dress has no back, and she has to hide the fact she has no back on her dress from him.
So what's the end game?
The end game is she has to see how long she can go without revealing, and he doesn't know that this is going on.
Is it a competition between the two of them?
No, it's just a competition for her.
So
like when they walk into doors, none of them can turn their back on each other, so they're both having to like look at each other and like
crab
walk in sideways.
I like that.
How is this that same Japanese game show that they did? Like the guy didn't talk to his wife for like several years, and they were trying to figure out why. It's the same. Is it the same channel?
I don't know.
God,
it's not the same program, I don't think.
Those guys are fucking amazing. They do this. There's this dudes that do like investigative journalism on trying to figure out like how to solve a problem through the most ridiculous comedic ways. Like there was like this one where a dog always attacked its male owner, and they tried to figure out how to fix that. But I don't know.
Oh, here they have a clip there actually.
Oh my god!
See the two guys at the back, and the woman has nothing. So like this is where
God!
They cannot turn their backs to each other.
Oh, this is so great.
Anyway, you should absolutely watch this whole video.
How long do they go on for?
The video's not that long. It's like 8 minutes, maybe.
Oh my gosh!
Wow, she's really pretty.
Poor people.
Speaking of pranks,
did you see, before you say your thing, Patrick just sent me something. Who is it? This is from Twitter, I think. CDB03B says the triangle flap in underwear is to accommodate different sized junk and to allow for expansion, not to pee out of.
Oh my god!
It's
mind
perfect.
blown.
Holy!
And it makes your junk look huge.
All right, sorry.
Oh
Huge.
my god!
Speaking of pranks,
Did you see that Nathan For You is coming back? Did you see the trailer?
I haven't seen the trailer yet.
It looks pretty good.
It's coming back in September, right?
I think so.
God, that show. So, do either of you guys watch it?
No.
I've watched like 3 episodes. They're fucking cringy.
That show is amazing.
Yeah.
So this season, it looks like it has this really funny storyline of, that like Bill Gates impersonators that he uses a lot. Like they go into this whole story with him and this woman that he loved that disappeared, and they track her down like amidst doing all these pranks. It looks pretty good.
They have this one. You should actually watch the show, Brandon. Yeah. This is the show that's right up your alley. One of they're not all elaborate staged things like this, but one of my favorite ones is he wants to become a magician. So he wants to become an escape artist. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. So he wants to like learn how to get himself out of stuff. But he says that he wants to have real stakes. That like he has to have something dangerous in order to escape. So that he wants to be tied up, and if he can't escape within a certain amount of time, he wants someone to pull his pants down in front of him.
He sets up a robot mechanical arm.
He gets there. But he wants someone to pull his pants down in front of children.
Oh my God.
Thereby exposing him, and then have a police officer there that will arrest him for indecent exposure. But he learns that if another person pulls his pants down, that person will get in trouble too. So he builds a robotic arm with a timer to pull his pants down if he can't get out of this trap in time. So he has like all these kids come. He's got a police officer there, and he works to like try to get himself out of it.
Do those kids know what's happening? Or are they just sitting there waiting?
I don't know.
It's amazing.
It's so good.
Absolutely amazing
What
show.
parents take their kids there?
So it's been like 2 or 3 years since this last season, and I really thought he wouldn't come back because it's gotten to the point where people recognize him and they kind of pick up on his antics. But
I think
he kind of fell into the...
I think the greatest episode ever, though, was from last season. It was the Smokers Allowed.
With the performance art?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing.
Like, you can't smoke in bars in California. The one exception is actors can smoke on stage when they're doing a performance. So he set up like 2 theater chairs in a bar and invited like theater critics down and said that everyone in the bar is a performer so that smokers were allowed that night. So people come in to smoke, and he's like going up and down the street like, "Hey, you want to smoke? Come into the bar." He's like, "You can smoke in this bar." And then the critics like, "Oh yeah, I loved it. Performance, like slice of life kind of thing." So he's like, "But was it really amazing?" So he like analyzes all the footage. Then he hires actors to recreate that night.
What?
And repeat that night for other critics. So like it becomes its own like theatrical production.
So are the critics in the video?
Yes.
Yeah.
In the part of the video?
Yeah,
it's
it
like
shows them
adaptation
afterward.
shit.
Yeah.
And they like really thought it was serious. They're like, "Oh wow, this was some really incredible commentary on blah."
And it's like all these different storylines going on because it's all like just people talking in a bar and doing their normal shit. It's fucking phenomenal. It's absolutely crazy.
I feel like I kind of wonder what the writer's room is like for that kind of show, where it's just like people just come up with the most stupidest ideas, and they're just like, "Yeah, it's great, it's great."
Yeah, I think there's just literally no dumb idea.
I would love to sit on like that or a Rick and Morty writers' room meeting, because like, well, we turned Rick into a pickle. It's like, what?
Yeah.
God, the Pickle Rick one was incredible.
It was so great.
Yeah.
He's like controlling the cockroach with his tongue and stuff.
Yeah, and the way he set it up, just the challenge for himself, and you're like, realistically, what the fuck? He's going to pickle. Like, this is obviously going to go to a place where he can't do anything, and just like, oh my gosh, this show's just really clever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys ever have the Guinness Book of World Records book or watch the TV show?
Yeah.
A couple of them.
Did you ever go through them and you're just like, these are just the most ridiculous records ever? Like, this has
Like
to be
longest
people...
running Machinima series.
Like longest running Machinima series. Apparently, people still are big fans of the Guinness Book, and there was a record that existed for most amount of robots simultaneously dancing.
Oh, God.
And someone in China, as what would happen, saw that and decided they wanted to break the record. So they put about 1,000 robots dancing simultaneously in the same stage.
Like line dancing or what?
You'll see. Like, I think if we have it on the Apple TV.
We still have that?
Oh, do we not have it?
Oh.
Okay.
You might
Well, I sent it over there. Oh, I thought I was so prepared.
You might have thrown them for a loop. Okay, I think I see him pulling it up.
They better do
There you go.
Macarena.
Oh, I thought they were so much bigger. Oh, that's not
Brandon,
so cool.
did you not watch your own video?
I did. I saw the GIF, and then it was like, go to YouTube, and I went to YouTube so I can better share
And
it.
you
I didn't
didn't
know it was a
watch
bigger
it?
thing. No, because I thought it was just them dancing.
Get to the
I didn't know.
dance. We have too much perspective.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Let's pretend they're 7 feet
Yeah. That's so great.
tall. Just cute.
Not one of them
Right.
fell. Idiots.
They're all kind of in sync a little bit.
Yeah, okay, this is great. But where are they going to take this? Like, how do you know there's not a command that's like, march,
Wait,
kill?
What?
But they're like a foot high.
You're afraid about of like a robot
I'm
uprising?
super afraid of robots in general.
North Korea
fuck
will
them.
get us
Like the
first.
guy who kicked that robot dog and the dog like adapted. I'm
Oh
like,
God, there was something that was about this where it's like, oh shit, I can't remember. It was some funny comic I saw where this sentient robot was like attacking human race because we threw a computer away.
Are they making a jerk? Were they making jerk off notions?
Yeah, at one point they were
They're
doing
like
this.
dabbing.
They're like,
Yeah.
Jacking off to invisible ghosts.
yeah.
Oh, maybe that's how they're going to monetize it. Would you get a hand job from a robot?
Yeah.
No.
Have you seen that? You and I saw
Yeah.
the robotic
I think we
blowjob
talked
video.
about it on the podcast.
Okay.
Where it's just like this discrete foldable blowjob head. Yeah.
How does
realistic
that work?
filling.
How do you
hair.
think it works, Brandon?
It's like it looks like it's
No,
like
I mean you said it's a severed head that you just
it's
fold
like
up
this,
into like a briefcase.
it's like this folded up body. It looks like someone taking shelter behind a dumpster, like wrapped in this like shawl. And it just goes. Oh, I guess so. Like
Whoa!
Oh, gift.
no gift.
The noise, the sound of that was disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see it.
Brandon.
People bite. Oh no! No!
Oh, looks like it's like attacking you or something.
But
there's the
when you
actual-
see its frame,
the
it's the
frame?
least sexy thing ever.
It was like
You
it's
just
like
pop a head
corrugated
and some
metal.
clothes on
Oh,
it.
Jesus. Yeah, that's why I wouldn't want a robot blowjobs. This is like you don't know if like a
Hand job. I get blowjob, but hand job.
or if like
What-
because then if like a
A hand
cog
job
gets
is
loose.
disappointing.
What's the difference? Like you say, blowjob, I get, but a hand job. What is that difference to you?
Because like a
Moisture?
blowjob, it's
It's
like all around it, and it could just like just cut into it.
Yeah,
and yank it up.
A fist could go.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
robotic
I'm
fist
just-
could do the same thing. Yeah,
I don't know.
Then
I see
it's
something
gonna
mentally
spend
about
15
being
pages
bit
stomping
off.
on it.
Yeah, I mean, if your dick's ripped off, doesn't matter if it's ripped off or bit off.
Yeah, it's just one's worse than the other.
But it's
One's worth the risk, and the other is totally not. Like you ever see that movie Teeth?
Yeah.
Oh
Vagina
man,
dentata.
yeah. I guess it could just rip it off if it wanted to.
I couldn't even do a fleshlight because now we're not getting into a safety hazard. So much of it is just like I just don't want to be.
You don't want to accessorize your JOs that much.
Yeah, exactly. Because then it's like
That's
I have a bottle of lotion in my house. It's very clear what that bottle of lotion is for.
Let me
What's
ask
it
you
for?
this:
I don't want to go be masturbating, rubbing my dick.
Moisture.
for you,
Eh.
is the experience? Is it the passion, the journey, or the destination?
It depends because I've actually gotten to this thing where I'm I'm actually trying to make more of an effort to masturbate more because I think it's healthy. So like it's gotten between a mix of I'm going to treat myself right now or I need to maintain my body to where I like it's just like a maintenance thing.
No, but I'm saying like, what if you had like a little thing you could just like prick? Not the right word. Poke. Not the right word. I don't know. Do something to where you just like immediately orgasm. Like you don't have to go
Like
and
an
like
ejaculate
you know,
trigger.
you don't got it.
Speaking of masturbation, my
Jerk
mom is
it.
calling me.
Blaine.
That's what I'm saying. Is it the journey, like the
My mom-
experience of it, or is it just like the pop off?
Well, you could use masturbation as like a workout routine type thing.
Is that the way you look at it?
Yeah, it's like a thing that like I could potentially make this.
So do you stand up when you do
could
it?
be
and-
better at. No. Like you can make yourself better at sex by like getting to the point, and then stopping. And
Oh, you're into
down,
tantric masturbation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Blaine's into edging.
Because I got one and then I'm done. So bring you right to the point. Stop. No.
So you don't mean physically exercising. You just mean. Do you ever do those kegels like
Kegels.
Kegels for guys?
Every now and then.
Are you doing it right now?
Now I am. I remember during sex ed, I think I told us on the podcast, whenever we were learning about Kegel exercises, I remember looking around the classroom and everybody's like, just like everyone is doing Kegels.
There was a great thread on Reddit over the weekend that was like, what thing did you learn in sex ed that turned out to be completely and totally wrong? And then like reading through those comments was like, wow, I can't believe like these are things that people were actually taught. Or
What was an
actually
example?
believed.
Yeah.
My favorite one was you cannot physically get an erection unless a member of the opposite sex is pregnant.
What?
Whoa.
You
Wow.
can, what?
Unless they're present, right?
Right.
You're not pregnant.
Sorry, did I say pregnant? I meant pregnant.
I don't know if you said pregnant. I heard.
I might have said pregnant. There was another one that was like, it's physically impossible to urinate with an erection.
No.
I've heard it's difficult though.
It's difficult, but it's like a fun challenge.
Yeah.
That feels great.
That's more of an angle issue.
I never really
Yeah, have
had sex ed. I had woman's body ed. Like you're changing body. You're going to start your period soon, so we
That's
better
what I
prepare
remember.
No, we had a sex ed class in Eagle Pass. It was taught by the coach.
you. Yeah, we didn't have that.
I took a human psychology or sexual psychology. I don't know what the fuck it was called. It was like psychology meets sex. And it was the best class that I took at community college. And my professor was super fucking cool and extremely attractive. It's just the best class.
Yeah, in our sex ed class in high school, every now and then, because it was the coach teaching. Every
Does that
now
make
and
it
then,
better or
we'd
worse?
have to read out loud from the book in
Oh my
class.
God.
And this one girl had to read, and she kept saying penis.
Shut up.
And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening.
Do all classes do that? Do you think the coach was just kind of into that?
I don't know.
But we did. It was in health class, and I think we had like a week that was like sex.
Oh yeah, that's what I had. Yeah, that was like that. Yeah.
Sex week.
Yeah. Join us now. I found the best subreddit the other day. It's called Boots Too Big. I don't know if you've ever seen it, where it's like if you see a naturally occurring sentence that's like 8 syllables, then you finish it like it's a poem. It goes into like the cadence of roses are red, violets are blue. And so there was one that was like
boots too big.
Boots too big, I think. My shoes too.
Yeah, go ahead.
But someone was like, roses are red, bad farts linger, and it was a picture of a sign on like a pad that was like pen is broken, please use finger, but like the kerning was off on pen and is, and it just looked like it said penis broken.
Yeah.
Penis broken, please use finger.
I'm
still chuckling about it.
Yeah.
Like,
whenever they upload, is that a subreddit?
Yes.
Oh fuck, please hit me up with that because it's whenever they have and then it ends with a picture.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you ever smashed your penis?
No.
Okay.
Like that on purpose or an accident?
Accident.
Accident. I think I have a couple times.
Like if it comes, it's like it's out and then it just smashes. It's this. If that makes
against
sense.
another penis?
No, against a butt. Like it like comes out too far, and then you go to put it in, and then it just smashes it, and you're like on the floor, like in pain.
I'm pretty
a penis where it was sad.
Like a why?
Yeah. No, it's just like it
wasn't
scary.
on
Like it could like seriously destroy it.
Yeah.
You can break your dick. Like Dennis Rodman has stories like that.
Really?
Yeah, where he's broken his dick. Have you ever watched that show on Vice called Party Legends?
That dude has lived.
He tells a couple of stories about having his dick broken. And he also, like, I guess one of the times the hospital staff tried to extort him. They took pictures of his broken dick.
Oh my God.
And they said if you didn't pay them that they were going to leak the pictures. He's like, hey, go ahead, leak it. I don't care.
Oh, badass. That's great.
Oh, man, that's horrible. Maybe it's better for his career to do that. I mean, that's a cool headline.
He's doing fine.
Yeah, he's in North Korea.
Yeah.
One time I fell off a bike and I got handlebar to my crotch and groin. Like there was no penetration, but like I got like basically a horrible contusion along the top of my mons pubis. And it was so much pain. It was horrible.
Do you guys remember those things that you'd throw in the pool? They were like little not glow in the dark, but little like neon cylinders. Mm-hmm. And you'd throw them and then they would sink to the bottom of the pool, but they'd be, just kind of standing up. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like...
Yeah, they were weighted.
Something like this, except way skinnier. And they had to take them off the market because kids were jumping in, like maybe like cannonballing and getting like impaled with them.
Jesus.
Dude.
That's...
Was it Choke? The Chuck Palahniuk book where a guy likes to masturbate on the bottom of a pool and let the drain suck on his butthole and it pulls out his intestine out his butt. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, there's a really gross term for that.
What is it?
I'm not going to share it. It's disgusting.
Pink socking?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's a little different.
I suppose. It's all bad. On the pink sock note.
I don't know. All right. Well, this has been a fun podcast. I'm glad,
to balance things out.
I'm glad
here.
we ended on an up note after starting on a down note.
Really sad podcast.
No, we're even. We talked about pink socking. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you guys next time.
Yo, what up? We're taking it back to 2003, where this shit all began. It's a Rooster Teeth podcast coming at you every Monday night. So get comfy and sit tight and enjoy the calamity, enjoy the insanity, yeah.